I'm joined now by two writers on different sides of the Brexit debate, Lionel Shriver and Will Self. I want to ask you both the same question. Lionel, what have you learnt today about the country you live in?
Well, I went to the rally at Parliament Square, and it did strike me that the people, at least who showed up there, are very traditionally patriotic, have what is to Remainers a more parochial idea of the country, and whereas Remainers obviously identify with this larger unit, which I find a little emotionally odd. That's where I don't quite get Remainers, where that's coming from, why you would identify with a large bureaucratic organization. But one of the things that I've noticed in the New York Times in particular is that they've been promoting this bizarre version of the Leave position, which is all very nostalgic and trying to bring back the British Empire. And I don't understand where they got that, because I've been following this very closely, and I never hear any hearkening back to the Empire.
Right,
it's much more a kind of more limited and cozier version of what it means to be British.
Will Self.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure we are on such radically different sides of the argument. I mean, I'm kind of militantly undecided, in fact. I think there's a perfectly good case for leaving the European Union. The problem is, as I've stated in numerous outlets, it's a vector that carries with it ethnic nationalism. And that's a problem. That's been the problem for the Remain side of the debate from day one. I don't care what Remainers say. If you go to the heartland and you talk to people and you're, not sort of insinuating, but just lay it open in an honest way, the ethnic nationalism comes up right away, immediately. So it's there. That's not the point. Where was the argument on the Leave side that this was a pragmatic, forward-looking way? Mervyn King was on the radio this morning saying, where was the argument about where the EU is really going and what the problems are with the currency union and what happened over that? So I think it's been a problem. If you ask me, John, for a diagnosis of our country's character, it's that it doesn't listen. If you want me to, on either side of the debate, because the Remainers have had plenty of years now to make the same principled case for Remain that is realistic about the options, and hasn't made it either. And what worries me so much, and I think many people, is that this sort of thing belies the old lie about the tolerance of the British character.
Lionel Shriver, we're in a very bad place. How is this all going to be brought together? I mean, whether we leave or we don't, we've got to heal the country.
I don't know where we go from here. I certainly don't look at this and see everyone coming together in unity anytime soon. And one of the things that I puzzle over is, let's say that we don't really leave the European Union. After all, that's what this crowd is concerned with, whether in spirit or the whole thing is reversed. What is the penalty? What are the consequences? And I'm afraid that this crowd thinks there are no consequences. They'll just be ignored. It'll be like, that was unpleasant. Let's get on with, life as usual.
Yeah.
I think that some people say that the inability of the members of Parliament to decide what to do is a sign of the vibrancy of our democracy. But to me, it looks like headless chickens running round in a circle. I think there's been a real failure of the political class. But here's the truth. Legitimacy has been hemorrhaging out of this place for a decade and a half. As a public commentator, I've been talking about the consequences of devolution, the move for the Celtic fringe to secede, the failure to reform the House of Lords, the failure to deal with even what voting system we use, whether it's a proportional or a single past the post. We've reaped what we sowed.
Is our democracy in trouble?
Yes, I think it is.
It's died?
And my feeling about this is that the UK is probably going to be okay whether it's in or out of the European Union. It will survive. But what's really at issue right now is whether democracy proves out. Can you will you institute the people's will? And I'm not struck that you will.
Lionel Shriver, Will Self, thank you very much indeed.